Hello, welcome to LMK Tech. In our today's tutorial, we're going to be showing you how you can use your SPSS to measure your frequency, your percentage level, your mean, and your standard deviation when you are carrying out a research that has to do with quantitative analysis. Without wasting much of our time, I'll be switching to my SPSS interface. This is my SPSS interface. As you can see, I have my title bar from the top, following by my menu bar, my toolbar, and I have my rows which carries my numbers. I have my data view. I'm already in my data view, and I also have here beside my data view my variable view, which is a very important view when talking about SPSS. My variable view is going to be used to code my questionnaire or any instruments I'm using for the sake of my quantitative research. We all know that quantitative research has to do with the measure of numerical value in order to make judgments on an existing phenomena. So today we're going to be using this SPSS to measure some variables, some nominal variables, which we'll be using for statistical percentage and frequency check. And we're going to be using the scale variable to do our mean and standard deviation analysis also. As you can see, I have my name, I have the type of the variable, I can here define my width, the decimal numbers to which I want my numbers to exist. Here with me, I have the label. Here I can define my values, where I can categorically give numbers to my variable. Here I also have where I can define my missing value. We have the column, like the align in our Microsoft Word. We can align with this. We have the measures, and we have the rule. Now we'll be starting by clicking on this, and we're going to be looking at the first nominal variable, which is gender. I'll be using gender for the sake of this class. Gender. Gender is a nominal variable. Here I'll click my type, which is going to be numeric. My width is okay with 8. My decimal value, I will want my numbers to appear in 0 decimal value. My label, here I can label its gender of students. I have my value. I can define my value here by clicking on these 3 dots, where I'll be giving 0 for the male student. I'll click on the add button. I'll be giving 1 for the female student. Remember, this is just a nominal variable. A nominal variable is that variable used to label, to categorize. You can use them for in-depth mathematical analysis. It's just like the rows number in the register in school. When you call student by the roll number, that doesn't mean that the student with the first roll number is having a higher performance than the student with the 30th roll number. They're just for identification. I've had my value. Now let's click OK. Here I'll be having another variable. I'll be defining a 2 in 4-point Likert scale, I'll be having my school, okay. I'll be having item name, let's say item 101, okay. This item 01 now, I can label it to be my school as a good wireless network. My school has a good wireless network. Then I'll define it here, my Likert scale or my Likert scale. I'll be having 0 for strongly disagree, agree. I'll be having 1 for disagree. I'll also be having 2 for undecided, undecided. I'll be having 4 for agree, and I'll be having 5 for strongly agree. As you can see, I have defined my Likert scale, and they are in 2 decimal, which I'm going to change them to 0 decimal. Come back to my decimal here and change them to 0 decimal. Coming back here to my value, you can see that they've all changed to what 0 decimal. Now click on OK. Having click on OK, I can decide to have another item 02, also numeric. You remember I'm using a 0 decimal. Now let me define my item, or label my item with my school teachers all have smartphones. We have labeled a variable. Now we'll be adding value to it. Value, remember, our 0 for strongly disagree, we'll add that. 1 for disagree, we have 2 for undecided, we have 4 for agree. These are Likert scale, and we have 5 for strongly agree. Anyway, you have strongly disagree, you must equally have strongly agree. Now we have defined this variable with 5-point Likert scale. We'll click on add, we'll click on OK. Now what do? Let's go to our role. Their input, we're going to input data into them. Now let's go to our measurements. Remember, the gender is a nominal variable. We choose nominal variable for the gender, And for the two items, we'll be using scale for them. You can equally use ordinal for them because we have rank our Likert scale, but let's use scale. I haven't used scale for this, we also use scale for this. Now let's go back to our data view. As you can see, our data view now have our agenda, our item 01, our item 02. Now let's impute some value into the gender column. Let's have 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 0, 1. We'll be using 5 inputs, 5 responses. Now we can switch this to number view by clicking on this. As you can see, it has switched to number view, and we can also switch to what? To string view. This is string view, and this is what? Numeric view. This is where we switch to what? String view and what? Numeric view. Now let's come back to the item 01. Item 01, we can have 2, 3, 1, 0, and 5. We can have 4, we can have 2, we can have 0, we can have 3, we can have 1. As you can see, we have input data or value into the what? Into the items. Now what do? You can check your analysis by going to the menu tab on our menu bar. You can see the analysis on it. Come to descriptive statistic. Let's first and foremost check for frequency. Checking for frequency now, we have our agenda, the two items. My school has a good wireless network. My school teachers all have smartphone. Now let's copy all this, Ctrl A, impute it in the variable view. Now let's look at that as statistic. As you can see, we can equally check for mean. In a statistic, we have a measure of central tendency where we have a mean, median, mode, and sub. We can equally check for our skewness level, kurtosis, standard error mean, range, standard deviation. But for the sake of this class, we'll be looking at the frequency and percentage only. Now let's cancel this. Now let's click OK. Clicking OK, we have our output view popping up. Let's look at our output view. As you can see, we have frequency. Now we have under the statistic, we have gender of students. We have my school has a good wireless network. My school teachers all have smartphone. We all have five inputs for them. No missing input or no missing value. What do? We come to gender of students. We have under the male, we have 2 male. The frequency show 2 male students, and the frequency for female show 3 female students. In total, there are 5 students who have given response to our questionnaire. Now, what is the percentage level? We have 40% for male students, 60% for female students, and the cumulative is 100%. Now, let's look at the frequency and percentage level for the first item 01. As you can see, we have 1 respondent saying strongly disagree, agree, disagree. They are all 1 in total, and the percentage all range from 20%, and the total percentage is what? 100. Looking at the second item, they all have 1 occurrence. The strongly disagree, agree all have 1 occurrence. We've checked and we'll see what our frequency and our percentage. Now let's go back to our data view and variable view. As you can see, we can check for our mean and standard deviation by clicking on this. Analysis or analyze, come to descriptive statistic, go to your what? Go to what? Descriptive. Now clicking on descriptive, we we are going to click on the first item and the second item and we'll move them into the variable. Now we can check the options to which we want. We'll be checking for mean, we have sum, we have standard deviation, we have minimum, we have the maximum value. For the sake of this class, we'll be checking for the mean and standard deviation only. They are both marked. We are going to be looking at the minimum and maximum since they are what? Automatically ticked. Then let's click on the continue. We'll click on continue and let's click on OK. Clicking on OK, as you can see on our output view, we have descriptives. Under descriptives, we have what? We have my school has a good wireless network. We have 5 responses or 5 respondents. We have also my school teacher all have smartphone. We also have 5 respondents. Then here we have minimum, we have maximum. Then what do we have here? We have the mean to be 2.0, the mean to be 2.0 also. Our standard deviation is 1.581, approximately 1.6, 1.581, approximately 1.6. Since we are using a 5-point Likert scale, our decision rule here is going to be 2.5 to be what? Accepted, while below 2.5 to be what? Rejected. So having a mean of 2.0, it means that what? We are going to what? Reject this mean. We're going to also what? Reject this what? Mean. We will not accept it as what? As a good response or as a good outcome. Now let's go back to this, which means that which means that the school doesn't have a good wireless network. So as you can see, this is a positive statement. My school has a good wireless network. Since this is a positive statement now, it means that we are going to reject this statement by saying my school does not have what? Good wireless network. My school teachers all have smartphones. Since this is also a positive statement, it means that what? We're going to reject it and say, since it's 2.0, then my school teachers do not have smartphones. Not all of them that have what? Smartphone. And this is how you check for your what? For your frequency, your percentage, your mean and standard deviation. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like our channel and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.